Just some notes, defensive positives. Again, positive on sudden change. We start the game in a way we obviously didn't want to start the game, and our defense does a great job there. We only gave up 43 yards passing, which is a Penn State record. Really, to me, this is a really impressive stat. We had 8 3-and-outs in the game and 7 on 7 straight drives, which was really impressive. Areas to improve: we got to get turnovers. We got to get more turnovers. We dropped 2 interceptions. We got to do a better job there. We only had 1 sack. We need more there. We probably missed 4 sacks, on scrambles. Offensive positives: great job protecting the football. That's been something I'm very, very proud of. We take a lot of pride in and spend a lot of time in practice on and things like that. And they've done a nice job with that. And then great job of being explosive and making our goal from an explosive play perspective. Areas to improve: got to be more physical up front at O-line and tight end, and sustain and finish blocks. And then continue to improve on third down. We've made progress there, but we can still be better. On special teams, our punt team unit has become elite. I think we were able to down 3 punts inside the 10-yard line in one game, which is really impressive. And Blake and that whole unit have become a real weapon for us. Areas to improve: we got to eliminate the penalties. We've got too many penalties right now on special teams, which are negating some of the really good things that are going on there. So,
James, you've mentioned your concerns about the offensive line several times, including a few minutes ago. You rotate players at several other positions. So how close have you come to trying other offensive linemen during games? Well,
actually what I said the O-line and the tight ends. There's a lot of things that factor into it. It's not just those guys, but we're playing the guys that we feel like give us the best chance to win on Saturdays. We've obviously had some injuries which have factored into it. We don't spend a whole lot of time talking about injuries because it's a next man up mentality on offense, defense, and special teams. But we got to be more physical up front with the O-line and the tight end. There's no doubt about it. But we're not planning on making any changes there.
You mentioned again today about more physicality up front on the offensive line. Is there any reason you think why that's been such a continued sticking point for you guys on the offensive line, and what can you do to help that or change that or make that better?
Well, I think in my time, when you look around, it's probably the toughest position to play, in college football from a physical perspective. There's positions like quarterback that are really hard to play from a physical and a mental perspective. But I think O-line is probably the next toughest from a physical and a mental perspective. I think playing corner in major college football is maybe the physically most difficult thing to do. And that's where experience counts so much. So we're still we still got some growth to go there. We got 1 senior on the unit. We got a redshirt freshman, a redshirt sophomore, a true sophomore, a junior, and a senior. So the best offensive lines that I've been around. Now there's exceptions to that, but the best ones that I've been around are senior laden or junior and senior laden. And sometimes there's offensive lines that are able to be very successful and not have that type of experience. But I think it's a combination of those things. I think it's youth. I think it's experience, and I think it's mentality. I think the thing that's exciting to me is I think Will Fries has the chance to be a really, really physical, intimidating offensive lineman. He has the ability to do that. Steven Gonzalez has the ability to do that. Connor McGovern has the ability to do that. Brendan Mann has the ability to do that, and so does Chaz Wright. And we just got to get them playing consistently with that type of confidence and that type of mentality. And I think what happens is when it's like anything else, when they start getting praised for it and they start getting patted on the back and having success for finishing blocks, it becomes contagious, and we need more of that. And like any other position or like any other unit or team, you need one guy to really start saying, "I'm the guy. Watch me. I'm going to show you how to do it." and then it becomes contagious for the group. So I'm looking forward to see who that is going to be and when it's going to be. And the same thing at the tight end position. I think it's probably harder than it's ever been at the tight end position, because most tight ends now in high school were big wide receivers, and getting all those guys to embrace, you know, the physicality of the position and the importance of being, you know, complete players on the O-line and at tight end. You know, the running game as well as the passing game are critical for us to go where we want to go.
I'm assuming you read or heard about the comments from Jonathan Bill on ESPN about how the offense might be telegraphing plays based on how one of the tackles lines up. That's something a lot of the fans have been talking about on social media. Is that something you agree with, or especially considering how many RPOs and checklist medias you guys use?
Yeah, but I, you know, that's what defenses do. I could say that about every offense in the country. There's tells. That's what our defense does. That's what our offense does. Is there some things that we can do better? Yes, no doubt about it. But you know, that's a lot of stuff that we did during the bye week. Is you know, scout ourselves from the opposite side of the ball, and whether it's the tight ends alignment or whether it's the backs alignment or depth of those things. There's tells, you know, and every offense has them, and every defensive has them. That's what we spend our weeks studying. You know, I'd also say if the tells were so obvious, I still think we're averaging, I think, 31 points a game. And if everybody knew what we were doing on most of our plays, I would think that we would be scoring a lot less than that. But is there some things that we need to get better at? There's no doubt. Are there some things that we're doing with backs alignment, some things like that, disguising? Yes, and I think people have seen that the last couple of weeks. But you know, I would tell you, you know, the most important thing that we got to do from a coaching perspective is fundamentals and techniques, and make sure that we're winning the one-on-one battles and at the wide receiver position, at the tight end position, at the offensive line position, running back position, and quarterback position, that we're winning our one-on-one battles, and that we're knocking people off the ball and sustaining blocks, and that the coaches are doing everything in their power during the week to make sure that we're disguising some of the tendencies and tells that we have. But yeah, he's talking about tendencies, which everybody has. So, you know, I appreciate it. Yeah, I see what our coaches are doing. I see what our players are doing. I see us being creative. I see us running a little bit of a wildcat variation. I see us, you know, being a little bit more personnel driven. I see us trying to disguise our running back alignments a little bit more. You know, I see us, you know, making a commitment in the time that we invest in practice and all those types of things, and individual and team periods and things like that. But yeah, it's not like we're just going to hand the ball off. But I am aware, and so are the rest of the staff, that for us to get better and for us to go where we want to go and be able to compete against the teams that we want to compete against, we have got to be more balanced. You know, we have got to show that we can run the ball when we need to. We can run the ball with mentality. And be more balanced, I think is the biggest thing. You know, I don't know if we're ever going to be a team that just lines up and runs the ball down your throat for 300 yards. But we don't need to be. But we do need to be able, when we get the right look, we need to be able to run the ball consistently into the right look, into the right situation. And we need to win our one-on-one battles from a protection standpoint in the passing game and in the running game in terms of creating space. So to me, you know, that's a quote. I'm not even sure where the quote comes from, but it's an offensive line deal where, you know, there's no better feeling than to take a man and move him against his will 3, 4, 5, 6 yards. I mean, that's the stuff that offensive linemen love, and we need a little bit more of that. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I love our offensive line, and I love Coach Limegrover, and they do a great job, and they're going to get better. But I would love to see a little bit more of that nastiness that I've been talking about for a couple of years. I think you guys have talked to me about. And I actually met with some of the young linemen the other day about it, that they were brought in and told that, and they understood that, and they need to bring that in practice, and bring that you know, in the games, and you know, and some of them have the ability. Man has got the ability to be one of the most physical offensive linemen in the country, and he's an older guy. He's a senior, you know, and I think, you know, when he does it, the rest will follow. You know, so. Probably going to have another conversation with him this week, and the impact that he can have and the legacy that he can leave here.